Okay, that's good. Right, well, before we start with our class, let me first introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
This is Teacher Riza, and how about you? What's your name?
You can call me Sunny.
Sunny. Okay, thank you for that, Sunny. All right. All right, so, um, let's go ahead then and start with our class then. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, what will be the topic that we will be having for today, Sunny?
I chose an article. The title is Storm Anna, the first one.
Storm Anna. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. And Storm Anna is actually one of, I would say, one of the dangerous, I'd say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's talk about Storm Anna. And will you give me a brief background about Storm Anna, please?
Okay. Uh, Storm Anna is one of the, yeah, as you mentioned, dangerous storm,
Mm-hmm.
which we hit Malawi, Madagascar, and Mozambique.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it causes a lot of uh, homeless uh, of the people in in those areas, and
Mm-hmm.
um, it lasted more than 1 week, and um, it causes a lot of um, collapse on the country, like uh, the country's main highway and cars and people.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, uh, and
Mm-hmm. Continue.
yeah, another storm uh, was uh, affected in the Indian Ocean.
Mm-mm.
So there will be a lot
Okay.
of yeah
There will be a lot of what?
damage mm,
Damage, all right?
around yeah
Mm-hmm.
in the African countries.
In African countries. Okay. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. All right. So, yes, this is one of the hazardous or very dangerous or its form because it really it really give us a lot of landslides. There are a lot of people who lost their houses and everything. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So there you go then. There are actually difficult words here that are mentioned to the article.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have questions on those words?
Not really.
Not really. So everything is clear there.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right then. So that's good then. If you don't have any questions in that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's talk about Storm. Since Storm Anna, all right, Storm Anna is one of the dangerous one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now my question is that have you experienced a kind of this storm in your country?
Actually, I've seen that kind of storm in my country, but uh,
Uh-huh.
I didn't experience. I haven't experienced that kinds of storm indirect indirect.
Ah, okay. So good for you. You were not able to experience it yet. But
Mm.
let's say, be it from the news reports and everything. So
Mhm.
what do you feel about these kinds of storms and disaster that happened?
When this kind of disaster happened, I thought that uh, why is the natural disaster happen on the developing countries or uh, the third countries? Oh, what can I say? Why? Uh,
All right.
the third word?
Are they only happening third world countries?
Yes,
Okay, I understand. Mm-hmm.
and it was my answer that these
Mm-hmm.
countries have no mm, water and sewage systemically.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Okay.
this kind of disaster happened, they cannot afford to mm, overcome the situation by themselves compared to the
Ah,
yeah rich countries like America. Because
like America.
last
Mm-hmm.
year there are a lot of storms, hurricane in the
Uh-uh.
U.S. as well, but I think they could overcome by themselves or through the support of the nation, the U.S. So it
Oh, okay.
yeah was uh, overcame quickly, and they can get their shelter, or they could get their shelter, or they could of mm, took the uh, temporary dwelling places by the nation, so by the government. So I think, especially for the third world countries and developing countries, um, have a lot of problems when these natural disaster happens.
Happens. All right then. Well, yes, there are a lot of disasters or natural disasters that's happened, just like here in my country, which is the Philippines, right?
Hmm.
Um, we've just experienced really a disaster from the southern part of the country, and it's really a disaster. We're in. There's a lot of people dies, and their houses has been washed out. There's a floods everywhere, so we lost our families.
Mm.
There are people who lost their families as well, which is really heartbreaking because
Hmm.
yes, these it's like every year there's always a storm that is very dangerous that would actually hit a country,
Mm.
and not just with one country, but it could also be countries,
Mm.
right? Multiple, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank
have
you
you
very much
ever
for that.
experienced
Mhm.
that kind of storm or a natural disaster?
Yes, I did, but not totally the we're in um I did. We did. We experienced it, but it's not same as other areas or other places experience
Mm.
it. It may be that dangerous already on our part, but
Mm-hmm.
there's still most the part wherein it is really a disaster. You can see really the strong the strong how will I say it power, I would say, the strong power of the typhoon or the
Mm.
natural disaster. But yes,
So yeah.
um in my in my area there's a lot of
Uh,
landslides.
so did
Yes,
you
and so
suffer
there's
damage directly from that?
yes damage directly there is really, But
Mhm.
one thing is one of my cousin's house. It's nearly went down the river because of the
Mm,
landslide, because of the strong current from the water, because it's
mm,
really strong. And we're still thankful that their house was not totally washed out by the water from that
mm,
time, because they're really near the river.
mhm,
And it's very it's very heartbreaking. And how will I say it? It is you feel pity to those people who
yeah,
experience it,
mhm,
because it's really difficult when you're on that situation. You
mm,
don't know what to do. You can't think properly like that. There are
mm,
things that comes to your mind.
mm,
What will you do first, like that? So yeah, it's
mm.
very difficult to be on that situation.
Yeah, right,
All
right.
right. Good thing though you don't have an what I call this a personal experience.
Mhm.
All right, and you just watch it on the television, but you still feel the
Pity.
pittiness, right? You feel
Mhm.
yes pity to those peoples into that country. True.
Yeah, right.
All right, but yes, that's a natural disaster. We really cannot, how will I say it? We cannot do anything, but we can do is to prevent some damages that
Mm.
would come, right?
Yeah, but I think
All
we
right.
cannot, yeah, prevent from
Mm-mm.
that kind of natural disaster, but because you know,
Mm-mm.
yeah, it occurs every year. So even though
True.
we, yeah, live on that ground or that area, we can,
Mm-mm.
yeah, damage. We can suffer damage from the natural disaster every year. So I think the best way to avoid from natural disaster like storm or hurricane is to move move to another area, but it's not easy for people who are not that rich to move another area and change their uh, mm,
Way of living.
yeah their
Mm-mm.
uh, how can I say um,
Yeah.
the basement of their life.
Ah, okay. So yes, you're that's
Digging
true.
foundation. Yeah.
The foundation, yes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. Yes, that's true though.
Hmm.
Thank you very much for that. All right. Well, since we're talking about natural disaster
Hmm.
and we're talking about some preventions that we can do, since of course we cannot stop it like that, and the only thing that we can do is to prevent damages that would occur, like lower the damages.
Hmm.
So, what do you think are the good way for you to prevent um, for you to have a large damage when natural disaster comes?
I think one of the causes of this natural disaster is climate change also. So as
Climate
well,
change.
yeah.
Mm-hmm, yes.
So actually, yeah, we are we have been experiencing climate change for ages, especially for our
Mm-hmm.
generation. So I think we have to protect our nature, Earth, nature, the mother of nature, to hand out the, the Earth to our next generation. Because if we,
Mm.
yeah, we keep um, uh, destruct destruct the earth, the
Yes, yes.
mother of nature, keep keep destructing the earth. Uh,
Mm-mm.
I think mm, it's obvious that our next generation will be suffering from the climate change, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the natural disaster will happen more frequently than now, and
Yes,
yeah, it will be, yeah, literally a disaster. So we have
that's
to, yeah, protect our earth by ourselves.
mm-hmm. Correct, though. That's true, right? We have to protect our Earth. We make sure that because climate change is already part of our lives, so what we have to do is really make sure that we do something for us to keep our Earth be protected, all right?
Mhm.
And so that the next generation will not suffer as well. All
Yeah,
right, good
right.
job. Yes, it's true. Will you say the word change?
Change.
Yeah, because I always hear it change. All right, like damage. All right, but
Mm,
you will say damage. It's like the letter E there at the end is not existing when you read
mm,
it.
damage.
All
Damage.
right.
I
Yes.
see.
Yes. And instead of you saying the mother of nature, you can say the mother nature. That's
Mother
it.
Nature.
Yeah, remove the of.
Of,
Yes.
I see.
All right. Okay. Good job. All right. So that is about your um storm Anna. And
Hmm.
all right. So there you go then. Do you have any questions for me though?
No.
No questions. Okay. All right. Well, it was nice meeting you today, Sunny. We'll end your class then. All right. Since we only have like
Okay.
a minute maybe, right? So little time. So I
Hmm.
like how good are you when it comes to giving your answers. You
Hmm.
really give details on it, very specific. All right. Let's just minimize. But just be careful. I mean, with the pronunciation with the j sound, especially if a word ends with letter e.
Hmm.
All right. So remember that in pronunciation, the letter E there is not part of it.
Mm,
All right, it's like the letter E there is not existing. All
okay.
right,
Hmm.
and let's use different fillers as well. You always use the word actually.
Mm.
You can use different words. All right, there are other words that you can use, although, however, those things. All right,
Mm,
especially when you're using contrasts, comparing. All right,
okay.
and you want to share when you want to share something. In my opinion, I think like that. All right,
Mm, I see.
this is my thought. There you go. Okay,
Mm,
so I won't be having much time of yours. So thank you really very much for today again, and I'll see you in our next class. All right. Have a
okay.
good night then.
You
This is
too.
Teacher Riza. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.